There we are. Seems to be running all right. Hello, folks. I've decided to do something I wouldn't usually do, which is a late night stream. I'd never start streaming at this time of night usually. Hello to anyone who's watching, and this might be quite a quiet stream because obviously it's late at night. People are in bed. It's not that late yet. It's not quite 12, but it's about 10 minutes to. But yeah, I just decided. I have been having just such a great time. I just decided that I'd stream this just because it's freaking amazing. I am absolutely loving the AMS2 experience offline at the moment. I really am. It's absolutely fantastic. So I thought I'd, impromptu live stream. Why not, And I don't know if anyone's seen my video from earlier today, but this car here, this has been a bit of a pig on the default setup since, because it's, after all, because of course we're on 1.3.5 whatever, we're on the latest build. It's here. Hang on, I'll be able to say it properly in a minute. 1.5.3.5. So it's just because I'm getting old and I can't remember anything. But yeah, this is, all the cars, everything's had physics updates, tyre updates, everything, and going through it incrementally, I've seen this car get updated and updated, but it's still on an old, or it's just not on a great setup for it. So even with, it's had, this car specifically had aero changes and suspension geometry changes as well. And, well, once you get your head around that and you start mucking around with the setup, you can really turn it into something rather fantastic. If you want to see how to do that, go and watch my last video on how to set this car up. So it stops being a pig and starts being really rather lovely. Like you'd expect this legendary car to be. Hello, Marty. Ha! I am old. How you doing? Cheers, mate. I thought I might catch some of the American crowd because, I'm streaming at a later time of night. So how are you, mate? I hope you're doing well. Are you enjoying the latest build of AMS2? Good to see you because I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, we're going to have a great Christmas, we are, as sim racers. AMS2 is now providing one of the best offline single-player experiences you can get, really. Then you've got R-Factor 2, and it's amazing online ranked racing system. It's just fantastic. It's brilliant. Blows me away. And now you've even got old Assetto Corsa now on low-fuel motorsport, so that's going to have a fantastic multiplayer. I really hope at some point that AMS2 gets a good multiplayer, because at the moment it's a bit screwed up, but the offline experience is just fantastic. Anyway, I won't keep boring you, and Marty probably wants something to watch. So what I was thinking of doing, since I've had such a good time setting this up, and a friend of mine, Flip Flops, was saying, oh, you've got to do a video where you're at Long Beach at night, because Long Beach at night, this looks fantastic. And it does. So I'll set up a race here, 20 minutes. This stream isn't going to be a long one, because I can't, well, people in the next room, maybe if I keep quiet, I'll be okay. Just don't talk too loud. But I can't help getting enthusiastic when I'm racing. But I'm going to set up a 20-minute race here at Long Beach, and start at 4 in the afternoon, but I've put the time progression to 10 times, so we should run into the dark. And I'm going to have it going sunny to wet, because the AI calibration for these GT3 cars is really, really good. I'm about the same pace with them in the dry as in the wet. Not absolutely exact, but closest to spot on. We'll sync the weather to the race, default progressing. We're going to use damage on full damage, and I'd love to go to max scaling, but we'll put it on medium just because medium I seem to suffer the same consequences as the AI on medium, whereas on max they tend to get away with a bit more than me. But yeah, I'm going to stick in a qualifying session as well. How long should we have that for? 10 minutes? Yeah, we'll go 10 minutes. So yeah, let's get that going there. I'll have a private session as well, so whilst I'm qualifying, don't get ran into by anyone. Yeah, there we go. Let's load it up. Are you having a drink, Marty? Is it that time in the afternoon? I see you've got the little cocktail sign there in the chat. I've got a lovely bottle of wine to have a glass out of after I finish this stream. I'm looking forward to that. I found my brand, Jam Shed wine. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Got a red Malbec. Oh, it's lovely. And I love the name because it's got jam in it, and I like the jam. Right. So, as per my video earlier today, I have loaded up. In fact, I've copied the setup over from the beta to this. Ah, evening now, and yes, glad you are, mate. You enjoy yourself. Sit back and relax. I've copied my setup that I've made for this car over from the beta, but because this track is so unbelievably bumpy, I've gone a bit further, even further than I went. I've adapted my setup for this track. So what I've done is I've taken my fast bump and rebound settings, which are the damper settings that deal with bumps, not so much your slow settings for rebound and bump deal with how the car handles and how it acts to leaning around corners, you know, and you can play with your understeer and oversteer with that. But the fast bump settings and rebound settings deal with how well it absorbs the bumps, and I've taken those right down, and it's given me a lot more traction. So I'm going to try and set a lap time with these settings. Let's I must remember, if I do this as well, to take my fuel when I go out for the race. I must remember to put my fuel back up again. So let's stick 6 laps worth in there, see how we get on. Hello, Alex. It is a great new update, isn't it? It's just the single player offline experience is just fantastic. It's brilliant. And I'm really loving driving. I wasn't getting on with the Nissan at all. Me and Flip Flops were not getting on with this Nissan. Flip Flops won't be watching at the moment. He'll be in bed because he's a hard-working man. He's got to be at work tomorrow. But he'll see this probably tomorrow. But we've not been getting on with this car because problems under braking, problems under acceleration, but mainly braking for me. It was more acceleration for Flip Flops. But I've solved it now, and it feels great. So, right, let's get myself out there so you guys have got something to watch and I can stop waffling on. So, there we go. Here we go. Oh, pit speed limiter. Very, very slow pit speed I've got here at Long Beach. I should probably have a faster pit speed. But then again, all the AI have got to conform with it as well. I love the fact that you can set whatever pit speed you like. But we've set it to this speed now, so we'll keep with this speed. But yeah, check out how this car handles now when we get out on track. Beautiful, beautiful Long Beach.
There's a car behind, take care, rejoin him. Okay, Paul, we've got 7 minutes to do the business.
I've got crew chief on, and of course,
to these brakes.
He's telling me there's a car behind because
the leader has just done a 21.87.
There kind of is, because the cars are out on track practicing, but they're not physically here with me because I've got a private qualifying session set up. So if you hear him say that, that's why. See, with this setup now, with just taking those fast bump and rebounds down, it's handling, gone wide there, totally missed the apex. It is handling the bumps so much better. It really, I'm not concentrating at all, am I? Let's just start that again. It's just, sorry, I am a numpty, aren't I? It's absorbing the bumps at this track and keeping traction with the road with those much slower fast rebound and bump setting so much better. It's stopping me from locking up over the bumps, and it's stopping me the back end from getting loose and shuffling around, coming out of the corners where you've got really bumpy exits to the corner. Hang on a minute there. Who's that? Hello, Uber Light. How you doing? Marty, whilst watching an AMS2 community race, you notice the marbles move around when doing a detail you've done. Yes, they do. They do. And apparently that's always been there, but I only just noticed it recently. Maybe it's because I was actively looking for it. But I noticed it and I thought this is absolutely great. You can really feel the marbles now, and you can see them moving around as well. You know, just like you can really feel when it starts to rain, you can really feel that the rubbered in line does indeed now get more slippery. I've got another message there from Uber Chill.
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes.
Well, physics are dope. I'm doing every corner. I keep hitting that because I'm looking at the chat. I'm just going to carry on with a slightly broken front bumper. Sod it. Got to get a lap in, haven't I? But yeah, I do agree with you there. I do think that the traction control and ABS system in AMS2 still needs work. I will definitely agree with you there. ABS starts to work a bit like ABS should work when you've got it up to about 8. But if you put it on 1 or 2, it's actually, for me, especially under trail braking, I'm more likely to lose the back end under trail braking with the ABS on 1 or 2 than I am to have it off. So to make it work, I have to stick it, you know, right up. Traction control is a lot better than it ever used to be. When it first came into this sim, it was an absolute nightmare. It would just stall your car basically. Now it's much better, but the ABS, I'm kind of spoiled from, well, ACC first of all, but then even more so by R Factor 2, because the ABS and traction control systems in, oh, I've locked up, can't concentrate. The ABS and traction control system in R Factor 2 is so advanced. I mean, for instance, the ABS system in R Factor 2 now works individually per wheel, properly. What's that now? I have not seen Nils' latest video. He loves AMS2 now. Only the TC is taking out too much power. Yes, that is the main problem with the TC. It does take out too much power. Like I said, when it first came into the game, if you put it up to 10, your car wouldn't move. It was ridiculous. But like everything, you know, in AMS2, they're gradually refining it. I'm going to end up getting last position because I've got the AI at max aggression and at 105 skill. And I've found that they're really, with the not with every single car set, but with, I've gone over the pit lane there, haven't I? They're so strict at Long Beach with the that little blue line for the pit exit. If you go over it, you get a invalid lap. Yeah, you're right, they will fix it, yeah.
Temperatures are fine.
They certainly will. Is that Uber Light? I was calling you Uber Chill, but it just looks like it should be Uber Light. I've got 2 minutes to try and get a lap in, guys. And I've got a slightly 4% damage to my front bumper, which is going to give me ever so slight understeer and ever so slight top speed, because it'll have, you know, ruined the air a bit, so I'll have ever such a slight lack of top speed. Right, let's see what I can do. I'm going to concentrate on the lap now, so if you say anything in chat and I don't reply, it's because I'm concentrating. Here we go, there's a great big bump just there at the end of that corner bend. Right, must remember, don't go over the line, and you'll be fine. There we go. This track is fantastic. I love this track. Can't wait to try this track on the R Factor 2 race control servers as well. But we're going to see it at night,
estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel
which will slow my graphics down, especially seeing as I'm streaming as well. I've ran it once without streaming, and the frames per second drop a bit there, but with streaming I'm losing a few more frames per second. So if anyone's new to the channel and they're watching and you want better videos with better graphics, better lighting and all that sort of stuff, subscribe to my channel, which costs you absolutely nothing. But the more subscribers and more views I have, the more money the channel earns. Therefore I can invest in things like silly graphics cards that no one can afford, but you need to make these things run properly whilst you're streaming or record VR. Better resolution for your videos, you know, it's all good for you guys. And there we go. Did I even set a lap there? Let's see. What did I set? So the AI are doing 120s, and I'm not the slowest. I'm doing a 122.8. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay, let's continue on.
20.
Well, hey! Hey! Hang on a minute, just before I carry on, I've got to have a look at the stream here. What's that? I have been rather busy. Thank you very much for the donation, Marty. Cheers. Oh, that'd be lovely. And the bottle of wine, it's £8, but it's £7 on deal at the moment in Tesco. So yeah, that'll be great. Oh, cheers, mate. You're a star. Oh, lovely. Right. Yeah. Marty, by the way, what kind of wine do you like? Do you like a red wine? Do you like a Malbec? Because this Jam Shed stuff, I don't know if it's sold over in the States, but it's lovely. It's an Argentinian Malbec, and oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It really is. So, right, I need to remember 2 things. Stick the fuel back up. Yeah, red. Yeah, it's a red Argentinian Malbec. It's not expensive, but it's not so cheap. It's just rubbish, and it's just gorgeous. It's got plum flavours and everything. You like Lick German Light. That's Uber Light. That goes with your name as well, Uber Light. Alex West has been running AMS2 to try and learn the Nordschleife, ready for when it arrives in ACC. I know. We're going to have a great Christmas, and then just after Christmas, we're getting more cars, and a different class car as well. And the Nordschleife, can you believe it? Did anyone see Jardier, who's like the biggest ACC fan? Did anyone see his video when he found out we were going to get the Nordschleife? He went off like a cork out of a champagne video. He was so over the moon about that. Good job they updated the tyre model before this happened, because, you know, it would have never dealt with the curbs before then. Right, so I'll put my fuel up. Now, the other thing I want to do is sort out my pit strategy. I'm going to edit this. I will check it before I go into the pits as well, because sometimes it screws up, but I generally find... So I want to change all the tyres, match the tyre cut. I'm generally fine if I tell it what I want rather than set it to recommended. That never works. I want to tell it what, so I'm going to be wanting to go to wets. And also, when I do get a wets, it's so hard to keep the heat in the wet tyres, although on this update they've sorted that as well. I'm going to give it as low tyre pressures as possible. So I can, because I think I've set the date to current date, so it's, you know, it's warm over at Long Beach. 17 degrees, warmer than here, but the track temperature's at 26 degrees, so it's still not massively hot, so it's hard to keep that in the tyres. I have to remember, once I've done that, always remember this, guys, do the damage as well, so we'll get the suspension fixed if that gets damaged. Won't bother with brakes, engine or gearbox, because if we lose those, then that's just the end of the race. And front aero. You've got to save it. You've got to click save. And then when you come back, make sure it is actually selected. So let's see if it's saved. Yeah. Yeah, it has. Right, so that's brilliant. Another message there, this time from Marty, I think. Who knows, maybe Renato will have a surprise gift for us in the next few weeks. Oh, mate, well, I don't know if you've noticed. I've got to go back and double check this because someone posted a picture of it. On the GT3 cars, when you go to your different classes on the left, when you see the cars here in the bit, you've got the classes there. Apparently now it says GT3 1. So GT3 Tier 1 or something like that, which means we're getting more GT3 cars, aren't we? It's definitely going to be happening. Remind me after I finish this race to go and show you that. Looks like we're getting more GT3 cars. And of course, the thing that isn't a surprise, but we're all eager for, is Le Mans. Yeah. Yes, Le Mans. Right. I am going to start this race, and if I'm going to make it in any way entertaining for you guys watching, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to concentrate, because they're reasonably good competition, these AI. And it's a tight, twisty track. But I had a race here earlier with this changing conditions, changing light, and everything. It was just fantastic. But I really will have to concentrate, else it'll just be me so far behind the field. You'll just be watching me in a car. You want to see me with the AI? Yes, more GT3s. Hell yes, hell yes. And that is why we do need working TC, ABS. And we sorely, because I will say this, because praise where praise is due, but criticism is needed as well. They've got to sort out the multiplayer, because they're now being stamped on, and I mean stamped on, by R Factor 2, which is now the blooming pinnacle. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And then AC on LFM is a very close second. Right, okay guys, wish me luck. Fight my way to P1. I don't know if I'll be able to do that in the rain. Let's just check the setup. Quickly check the setup. Starting off with no traction control and ABS. Might ramp those up when we start to get a bit of rain. Lovely time for sim racing, absolutely. Right folks, here we go. Am I ready for this? Have I got everything sorted? Yes. Okay, right. Let's do it.
20
Here we
minutes.
go.
All right, Paul. Nice and neat. Stay out of trouble.
Here we go.
Green.
Green light. Decent start there. Managed not to wheel spin it. Lost one place to the gold car in front. I've got the orange and purple car behind me creeping up. Got to keep an eye on what's going on in front, because they're all going to start braking for this first corner. Here's where it's going to get tight. Oh, I'm not going to sneak down this. I'll get squashed. Wow, they managed not to squash me. Look at that. Totally clean. Through this section of this track. We're too wide through here. Absolutely amazing. 3 wide.
Mauricio is now in the lead.
It's just... This is why I just decided to do this silly late night stream. You know, because I did this race earlier and it was just amazing. And because I'm poor, and because of my unique situation, I live with my folks, so I had to go down and sort of ask me mum, who usually stays up quite late, do you think if I'm doing a live stream in my room it'll keep you awake? And she was like, no, I don't really hear you a lot when you're doing a live stream. It's just when you go downstairs. I have a habit, you know, cooking the odd thing later. Anyway, but yeah, I said that I've got to just run this stream tonight. It's so good. She was like, yeah, all right. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. If it doesn't cause too much noise through the wall, there's a double skin wall back there, I'll do this more often. Right, I've got to start concentrating, haven't I? Look at how badly I'm doing. That great big bump There we go. Did you see that? That's the bump on that straight right there. This car's really nice under braking now. No ABS. I'm using it. Brake nice and firmly there. Come on. You know, and this is the Nissan, guys. If you've driven on the default setup, it's all over the place. Look how easily I'm managing to get out of these corners without the back end just going, oh, I'm going to dance around and then kill you. Dare I go down the inside. Late braking, make a place. Come on. Yes, I made a place on him. I've made one place. Just one place. This is another thing here. This corner here, coming on to East Seaside Drive, or whatever this road is called. The AI with any class of car, and I'm really happy about this. I put a note on the Reason forums today. The AI used to hit that corner and they'd come out of it so slow you'd always, no matter what, be able to just pick them off down there. Now, I'm very pleased to say they've solved that. I made another place. I'm on a straight, so I might be able to see some chat.
B30.
23 years. So I just read your oh no, don't lose a place to the guy. He's having a look behind me. I've just read your post, Marty. I'm not looking at the chat now because it's getting kind of, but I've read your post, and yes, she is. And she's not a big wine drinker, but she likes the Malbec that I chose. She likes that. My mum hardly drinks. Well, she does drink. She'll drink wine, but she likes Cinzano and stuff like that. But 23 years you took it. Was that at the farm, Marty? Look at this. Look at this. Look. I'm not able to just take them out at that, you know, just overtake them at that corner. They're so much quicker through that corner now. Oh, it's a bit brave. Yeah, it's a bit too brave. I was going to go down the inside. Oh. Oh, look at that. We didn't touch. But he didn't give up. I thought I might be able to... I was just about to say, I think maybe you can bully them a bit round that corner, but no, you can't.
That's your fastest lap.
Look at those sun rays coming in. I may have my graphics turned up just a bit too high whilst because I've recently turned up the graphics on this sim, and the frame rates I will say have got a little bit. This game still runs fantastic, but they've got a little bit lower as they've cleaned up certain things in the graphics, which I'm pleased to see. But it has suffered slightly with frame rates. But I've turned them up from what I used to have, so now I'm streaming. That has had an effect. So when I'm not. Oh, so close. The Nissan looks so great from the back, doesn't it? Those huge skirts and those great big round lights on a square end. Oh, he has slowed down a little bit from that corner. But I did get a particularly good exit. Let's go. Oh, car just scraping the wall. Sparks there. We got sparks in the game now. Fantastic. Just look at how beautiful the way this car is handling. Sorry, I'm completely motor mouthing it now. I know I am, but it's just, this is just great. It's just seriously one of the best offline experiences. Oh, I've just read another post because I'm on the straight. If I'm on the straight, I'll look at the post. And yes, you are right, Marty. I'm so very happy and impressed with the AI improvements, specifically here at Long Beach. Because if you've raced here, you know you get to, some people call it turn 7, some people call it turn 8, depending on the layout. But that turn on East Seaside is just... Oh, got a bit of rain starting. They used to be so slow there, and the improvement is massive. We are starting to get rain now. It's going to come on quick though. And I'm dropping back because I'm getting nervous. Because I've got it synced to race, so I know... Oh, we're sliding already. I know the rain's going to come in artificially quick, and the track's going to get artificially quickly wet because we are on sync to race, so that should be expected. It's totally normal. Dare I?
Got a bit of rain now. Looks like it's getting harder.
What are they going to do? Oh, you can see the ground getting reflective now. There's the pit lane. We'll do it on the next lap. I might stick on my ABS all the way up to 8. Oh, wrong button.
The track temperature is falling. It's now 20 Celsius.
Traction control up to 5. Just because I know it's going to get slippery this lap. Oh. Come on, keep it together. Schedule a pit stop. We'll schedule a pit stop now. I'm starting to get the odd little stutter. Oh, no, no, no! Oh, look at that AI taking advantage of my mistake there immediately.
Come on, mate, defend your position.
Right, I've scheduled my pit stop. Let's just check it is going to put the right stuff on. Yes, it is going to put wets on. So there you go. If you want to use pit strategies before you start the race, they do work as long as you don't use recommended settings. Oh, but if you restart a race, it completely buggers that up. So don't. Oh, look at that! He tried to get through on the outside of me there. I'm so going in early. Oh!
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
Well, it turns out quite a few of them have decided to go in. Right, so what position are we? 32. Got someone in my pit box, but that doesn't matter. In AMS2, you can just drive in anyway.
Proper rain now. Looks like it's getting harder.
So, 30 seconds. And we are ready to go. Just check it's definitely put us on the wets. Yes, it has.
The track temperature's
right, I'm going to use my dashboard here. If you watch my dashboard on my actual car, I've got a button synced so I can go through the pages. There we go, it's changed once, changed twice, changed 3 times. I've got my tyre pressures up there on the left there, you see, so they're going to go down. So it's really hard to keep tyres warm here. What we got?
Pitting now. The pit exit's clear.
So we're 30th, okay.
To get some heat into these brakes.
We're 30th. Right, I must remember not to go over the pit line. I've got to stick my headlights on as well.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Halfway home. Got plenty of fuel.
Wet tyres feel so much. Slick tyres on a wet track feel much more like they should now, and wet tyres feel much more like wet tyres. It's great. Right, where's my headlights? There we go.
A little bit behind when he comes out.
So I've got my traction control and ABS turned on now, but I am being ginger. I'm going to try and stay on the dry line, but the more wet it gets, there shouldn't be too much rubber down as we started on default progressing. So the dry line should still be reasonably grippy. I love the fact that you go under the bridges there where it's covered and it's dry under those. Just the weather system in this is fantastic. They've done a lot of work on the puddles as well. Puddle depth has been decreased because the puddles were ridiculous. You know, you could drive through them at 5 miles an hour and the car would spin out. Now, much better. Everything's much better. Okay, so we're passing the pits now, so if there are anyone in the pits, we might make a few places. Yes, we have. So we're in the 25th. And I think with the ABS I should be able to brake a lot later though. I'm braking too early. But yeah, not great performance whilst I'm trying to game and stream. I wasn't getting these stats earlier, but unfortunately when I'm streaming, because I'm streaming, I've got the YouTube window open over the game. Luckily I've got a ultra wide, so it only takes up that tiny little corner of the screen. But I've got that over the game, which kind of slows down its performance, and it's streaming and running the game all off one PC, and it's doing all of that with a 2070 Super graphics card, which isn't the best. So, like I said, anyone watching who's new to the channel, if you like it and you want to see better videos with better equipment, making better videos and higher resolution, better frame rates in the future, hit subscribe. Look at that, there's been a little bit of an accident, but he's gotten out of it. It's great to see the AI will make the odd mistake, isn't it? Just great. Yeah, hit subscribe, give us a like, costs you nothing, but it earns the channel. So, but that's great to see. Great to see how good the AI are getting around here cleanly, but still will have the odd little mistake. Love it, absolutely love it. And look at those rays coming through the sun as we go around, as they poke through the fencing there. It's getting darker, sun's getting lower in the sky. You just see what's the dry line there, which is still, yeah, it's still grippier than the wet stuff because we've not got too much rubber down, so we can stay on the dry line for as long as possible, I think. Can we catch up here? It's understeering around that corner. You can see how bouncy the track is. I'm so glad I lowered those fast damper settings to compensate for that. It's just helping the tyres keep more grip with the road, especially under initial acceleration and massively under braking. If your suspension's too hard around here, you just lock up, especially when it rains. Well, we are catching. So 21st position. Let's get rid of all that stuff. Well, let's just bring it back for a second. You can see I'm not keeping
21.
Very much heat in the front tyres. But this is just amazing. Lights are coming on now around the track. I hope it gets properly dark, because when this track's lit up, God, it's amazing. Car is slippery on the wet, but it's so much easier to handle than the default setup. It's fantastic, actually. Now these BMWs, they're bloody fast on the straights, but
think about the lap times, just hit each and every apex. Okay, well, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes.
not so great around the corners. So I might be. Oh, see, they're so much better through that corner on a straight, so I can read something. Long bitch motion rig would be a good idea. I think that's what I just read. Oh, got to keep going on the road. I think that's what I just read. Yes, that would be. I'd love one of those motion rigs that, you know, leans you right over so it can simulate lots of G's. That would be fun. I saw a video of one of those today. Right, come on. Oh, he got a much better exit than me. I got too much wheel spin. Look at that sky now. Just look at that.
Your lap time was 1:29.88.
Lights are coming on the Ferris wheels.
Off the pace.
Absolutely fantastic. I haven't tried Long Beach in R-Factor 2 at night because they've done a very good job on that track as well, but I have to say this is one of the best looking Long Beaches at night I've seen so far. However, I will say this, the fountain, the water doesn't move. Now there's a modded version of this in Assetto Corsa, which doesn't look graphically as good as this, but the water moves on the fountain. You can see it cascading down. I wish they could implement that in this. I'm sure they can. If they can implement things like animations of trains going past at Road America, I'm sure they can do that. But look at how consistent the AI have been. you know. Oh, I just braked too late there. Right, can I try and get a reasonably decent exit from here this time? Not really, I've still got too much wheel spin going on. I will say the AI do seem to get, I don't know, the BMW might be heavier than this, so it might be able to get a better exit there, but I think they might have a little too much grip there. Nothing major. For a sim where the AI don't run on the same physics as you, they're bloody good. They've got them tuned in very well. Just, you can feel the grip. You can feel where it is on that dry line. As soon as you get onto the wet, even though I'm on wet tyres, and also if I can stay on the dry line enough, yeah, it's keeping those tyres at a reasonable level of heat in them. So if you want to see, I'll bring that up again for you.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
There you go. Oh, I've got to turn it off because it's detracting from the track lights, which have now come on. Look at this. Track lights are probably coming on. Oh! Oh, I had a little slide. I've hit him up the back. I don't think I've done any damage to him or me. I was concentrating on the track lights and not my driving. Because it's so damn pretty here. Let's just double check. Yeah, we're not done any damage.
21st.
Look at that. There we go. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? The handling is just... Wet weather physics have come a heck of a long way in this update. They really have. I'm pretty sure most of you guys watching are, you know, probably part of the Paddock Club and have been part of the beta. So you've seen this happen incrementally, but for anyone who's watching that is not part of the Paddock Club and so therefore not part of the beta testing, you've been waiting months for this update. And so now it's come out, it must feel like a huge update for you guys because you've had everything all in one go. Whereas, you know, we've been getting a new beta sort of sometimes twice a week for several months now. Just about keeping with this BM. Right, I'm a bit scared of this corner now, so I've braked a bit too early because of what happened last lap. But I am catching him. Catching you, Mr. Beamer. Oh, I'm going to be cheeky. Oh, that was naughty of me, but I've done it. Ha ha ha! I've got to try and keep him out of my slipstream though, because I think his car's faster than mine in a straight line. He's trying to follow me in my slipstream. Oh, look at that! He's really having a go. Look at this! He's on the outside now. Can I brake him? Oh mate, look at his brake disc glowing. What a challenge, he's all over me. That's another thing that's great about this update, the AI. They will much more aggressively look for a way through now without punting you up the road, but they will... Do you remember when they used to just, you'd overtake them and they just give up? Look at how this track looks. It's absolutely freaking fantastic. It's just awesome. It is just awesome. You know, I've really been spoiled with the quality of racing that's going on the RFAC 2 servers mainly. I've only had a little go on the AC servers, but it seems pretty good there. But the RFAC 2 servers, certainly, because everyone's worried about their rating, the quality of the racing is fantastic. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting that here in an offline experience.
20th place.
And there we go.
Well done.
Race over, 20th place. I am so chuffed with that. How did we do tyres wise? So there we go. We've got much. This was a problem on the last beta before they brought out this official build. This is the official build. We had a problem with the wet tyres. Were far too sensitive in the wet to flat spotting. At one point they weren't wearing, now they wear. Then it went the other way and they got too sensitive to wear and also too sensitive to flat spotting. Now we got a reasonable amount. And also I have to say this, the flat spotting thing is amazing. It's better done in this sim than it is in any other. If you get a flat spot, you'll feel it. You know, you feel flat spots massively in something like R factor 2 and ACC. In fact, ACC a little bit exaggerated, but you really feel the flat spots in this, but not overly exaggerated. But you can feel it through the steering as they get more and more severe, but also it really affects the way the car drives. And you will find if you get a flat spot on one wheel, you will then keep, every time you brake, as soon as that wheel hits the flat spot, if you're braking hard enough, it will lock up on that flat spot and get worse. Whereas some sims, it just seems like you get a juddering through the steering, getting more juddering through the steering. The flat spot doesn't actually seem to get worse on that contact patch, but here it does. That was absolutely freaking fantastic. That's why I ran this stream. I just had to show you that. Absolutely amazing. I'm just going to wear out the back tyres because we're finished. There's something else I was meant to mention to you. Yeah, let's say goodbye to the rear tyres. Oh yeah, on the subject of tyres, I can confirm with you now, the sim, a lot of people have been wondering about this. If you've been following it on the Reader forums, if you've seen these posts, this sim is actually capable, and apparently will be bringing in at some point punctures and blowouts. That was mentioned. It was discovered when someone was racing, and oh, I've got a coolant leak. Look, and it was then commented on by one of the devs who explained that the sim can do it, and I'll blow my engine up. Sim can do it, and it will be happening. If you experience it, because it's not properly implemented yet, I'll just show you. So you can see my tyres are completely worn out there. That's not the whole tyre. That's just the main tread part. So it's almost, apparently when you're down to black, it's then almost down onto your canvas. If at some point the car literally won't drive on one side, and it feels like the car's leaning through the floor a bit, if you look and see that your pressure bar goes down to 0, that's a puncture, and they're going to be properly brought in and graphically implemented at some point. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let's do something else, because I'm loving this. Well, first of all, let's just look at how we did lap times wise. So we'll skip the cool down lap. Well, we'll leave that for the moment. So the AI there are doing 120s, 121s. I've come in 20th place, and the fastest I did was a 1:23.4. And there's a few AIs in the 23s, but there's only actually 2 AI that were, so I was a 1:23.4, did I say? Where am I now? 1:23.4, yeah, 1:23.5, a 1:23.7, and a 1:23.6. So there were 3 AI that were slower than me, but that's on a difficulty of 105, which is great. I really don't like it when you can totally thrash the AI at 110 or even 120 without any practice, because it means, well, it's just useless as an offline sim then. If you can always keep turning them up, you can keep improving your lap times with more practice and better setups, and keep going, and you'll always have good competition. Right, that was amazing. So, I mean, just look at this. Just look at how good this looks. Oh! Just as I say that, look, we've got this bug starts. For some reason, the AI will all appear in a minute. 1 second. I've seen this bug before. There we go, they appeared. So what happens when that happens, you just rewind. And they're all there. That's a little annoying bug, but it's nothing too bad. You can solve it. But look at that. Look at how good it looks. Even on the lowest graphic settings, this game looks amazing. And they do seem to have managed to get rid of that weird graphics sort of blur edging thing that would happen on the edges of cars, around the wing mirrors and wings, and just on the edges of the cars you'd get this weird stretchy blurring thing. They seem to have solved that. They seem to have got rid of it. And just look at it, it's fantastic. And the cars, just even on the replays, the cars are moving in such a believable way now, much more believable way. It's just got better and better physics-wise. It's just so good as an all-round game. There's the sparks there from him just scraping the wall. I haven't got the shadows turned right up, so they're lacking a bit, but I can only go so far. You still get that weird edging effect with the shadows. But look at the exit they get out of there. Anyway, let's go try something else. I'm gonna actually. It saved that replay. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Good, because I want to keep that. I'm just going to quickly, whilst that's swapping screens, I'm just quickly open my internet window, check the screen. 12 of you still there. How on earth do you put up with me? How's the wine going down, Marty? Are you on wine tonight? We were having a conversation about wine, but I don't know. Let's try another track that might be fun to do at night, maybe without the rain, just to save my graphics a bit. I'll show you what I've got them set at. So everything is pretty high, really. Hello, Just Posted. How you doing, mate? Oh, mate, I've got to tell you, unfortunately, because I have seen your comment on my video about the Nissan GTR, I just haven't had time to reply yet. Because if you've only just jumped in, I took that setup just now to Long Beach, and I used that setup. But I adapted it for Long Beach because Long Beach is so bumpy. The bits of the damper that absorb the bumps are the fast damper parts, so fast rebound, fast bump. Doesn't affect your handling so much, just affects the way it absorbs the bumps. Took them right down, it kept the car in contact with the tarmac, and it was just fantastic to drive around there. But I'm really happy to hear that you found that sort of little setup video interesting, and yes, I will do more of those. And you've just had a great time on RF2. Mate, the RF2 online system is just spectacularly good. It is brilliant. Really, really good. And I've said this earlier on tonight. Reeza have got to up their game on the multiplayer because they're getting spanked by not only AMS2 but also AC now on the fantastic LFM system. But R Factor 2 at the moment online king. Marty's saying as well that yeah, there is a GUI update coming. I've never really I get on with the UI and this. I find it really easy. But I mean, if they've got better stuff they can do with it, yeah, great. Vodka and cranberry. I thought you might be on the vodka. I almost asked. Oh, Mazda Cup race in RF2. Mazda Cup in RF2, or do you mean AC? Because they've got the Mazda Cup in Assetto Corsa on LFM, but there's not a Mazda Cup in RF2, R Factor 2, unless they're using a mod. Just posted, yes, I really must start getting into setups. RF2 intermediate, I'm pretty sure I'm losing time by not having a handle on setups. Yeah, setups are very tweaky in R Factor 2 as well. I tell you what, if you want to have some fun with camber, if you're in the intermediates, you can get into the Porsche 992s. There's nothing that beats driving those. Sorry, AMS2 fans, when it comes to pure driving, R Factor 2 is just so satisfying. AMS2 is getting close, but R Factor 2 is just, for pure driving. That Porsche is just one of my favourite cars in sim racing. I made a video about it ages ago. But you can put ridiculous camber on it. Really changes the way it drives and the feel for it, for the FFB. I was right. You're blaming your age in the vodka. That's two of us that have gone on about age tonight. Right, what was I going to do? Yeah, so I heard from the last update, and do you know what another track I think might be fun to try at night is? Monaco. Or Azure Circuit, as we have to call it for licensing reasons. But Monaco. Let's try that at night. Oh no, the car I want to try there doesn't have lights. Okay, we'll come back to that track because we'll come back. No, sorry, we'll go to that track, but we'll do it during the day because it's a lovely track during the day as well. But the car I want doesn't have lights, so we shall not speed up the time progression to a stupid amount, or we'll start earlier during the day. Because the car I want to try, shall I do another 20-minute race, or shall I'll make it a single weather slot sprint race, 15 minutes. That's a very good question just posted, because I tell you what, that was one of my favourite New Year's ever. But unfortunately, because the guy who got in contact with me about this made me think it was actually New Year's Day, I've got a gig. I've got to go sit in a corner and play guitar. And I thought it might have been New Year's Day, and I just confirmed with him just earlier today, did you mean New Year's Day, or is that actually New Year's Eve? Because you would have thought it'd be New Year's Eve, but the way he worded it almost sounded like it was the day, and it is the evening. So I'm going to be away till it's. I've got to drive. It's about 30-40 miles away from here, and it finishes at about 10:30. So I'm probably going to crash over there afterwards as well. Because I've got an estate car and it's got a bed in the back. And then come back the next morning. I would have loved to though, mate, because that really was one of the best New Year's. But maybe I'll do a stream like that again and call it the sort of the late New Year's, just for us lot, you know, and do that again, have another sort of demolition derby night. But it can't be on New Year's Eve. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, the car I wanted to drive around here, because they've done 2 updates on this car that are quite major for me. And it's the Formula V. which now has the back suspension working properly. So the axle doesn't just go, the wheel stays and the axle goes up and down through it. The suspension works properly. And they've stopped the front suspension lifting up when you're driving as well. And it's just a great car to drive. So, but I have no idea how well calibrated the AI are with these. So we'll try it on 100. We're not going to do a qualifying. We'll try it on 100 with a little test race, because I'll know pretty quickly if I'm too slow or too fast by doing that, rather than going through a whole qualifying session and finding out. And we're going to Monaco because they're great round here. It's a perfect track for them because they're tiny, so you can actually, you know, go side by side round corners in Monaco, and because they're small and low powered with all the tight corners here, it's good for Monaco. Right, so have we got everything set up? Custom date, let's go current date. It's because I'm interested to see what Monaco looks like current date. Probably not much different with their kind of vegetation and their kind of heat. We shall see. New Year's Eve, you stay off the roads as it's amateur night. This is the thing. I'm going to be driving, and I only got the car just recently, you know, I don't know, 3-4 months ago now. So I'm quite precious over it.
The track temp is 14. The
But I specifically bought an estate car.
14 minutes.
Hang on.
You'll need to get on with this. P21.
Thanks, Jim. I specifically bought an estate car, so if I do gigs that are further afield and late, I can stay over in it at night. If they've got private ground that I can park it on, I can even, you know, do my gig, have a few gigs, have a few drinks, and then go and sleep in the back of, you know, my estate car fitted out with the bed and everything. And it's quite a nice night, but it saves me so much money on hotel bills. And I was toying with the idea, I'll just go there, you know, stay sober, won't have a drink at all, do the gig and come home. But we're not going to be finished till about 10:45, and people like to talk, so we probably won't be leaving or packed up even till after 11:30. And it is amateur night, and I don't want to meet anyone on the roads, because the roads I've got to go down to get there. There are some well-known roads for accidents. They're dual carriageways and stuff in Norfolk. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna drive to the gig, do the gig, have some food, have a few drinks, crash over in the car, because he's got private ground for me to park on, so probably do that. Shouldn't be too cold. My car's really well insulated, and you know, I've got double duvet blanket things in there. Good idea. A subscriber stream and drive would be great over the holidays. Yes, let's hope they sort out some of the I'll talk about the multiplayer issues a little bit later, because there are some massive issues with this that have been brought in that unfortunately I'm not happy about. Yeah, got a heavy blanket, big fluffy dressing gown, and a duvet and everything. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this works out. So we've got 15 minutes here. How much fuel? We're not going to need that much fuel. 10 laps of fuel, do you think? And it's on the default setup. I might be a bit rubbish in this because I haven't driven it for ages, and I've jumped straight out of a GT3 car into this, so I'm going to probably forget that it's an open diff car and totally lose it straight on the first corner. But these are so much fun. They handle great now, but the suspension animations now, especially when you're following another car, now work properly and look great. Just posted. Thank you so much for your comment, mate. I'll give you a reply on the video, and I hope you have a great sleep. Great to hear from you. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you all for your support, guys, and have a great sleep. And if the folks say there's not too much noise coming from the room, and I need to keep a bit quieter, I might be able to do late night streams a bit more often. Right, so and drivers, yes, Marty, drivers do have proper head move. That was one of the things that was really annoying me. You know, you'd see an F1 car going around a left-hander, and the header do that. but also wouldn't look around as well. Now they lean in properly. It's all these little refinements. Right, let's see what these Formula Vs are like around here, because I'm dying to try. I've not tried this since the last update, and I think they might have had a minor tyre tread update. Right, here we go.
V21, get ready.
Okay.
Green, green, green.
Oh, look at the tyre smoke from the ones in front. Fantastic. And if we can get close to the one in front here, look, just watch the suspension animation on the back now. Unfortunately, I've picked a track that's really quite smooth, so we're probably not going to see much of it now. Yeah, you can see the axle there leaning and staying in the centre of the wheel. It's just fantastic. Look at that. It's just fantastic. And these front shocks. Oh! I was looking at the suspension animations too much. I'm sorry. AI car. And for everyone watching who just now thought, I can't watch this guy anymore. He can't drive. He's an absolute idiot. Yeah, I've done an equal amount of suspension damage on each side. Look, I've got 6% suspension damage on each side now from that little touch, and I can feel it. I can feel it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to soldier on. Well, Marty, don't feel bad about being bad at this track, because you've seen what I just did. I think the key with this track, one is braking, especially down that hill. You've got to get your braking point right down that hill, else you will lock up. And you've seen it over the years how many F1 drivers have really come a cropper there from that sort of thing. And the other thing is just remember how slow some of these corners are. And the main thing is to get a good exit for the tunnel, a good exit after this next corner, and a damn good exit for going up the hill. Oh, AI just hitting the wall there. That's not great to see, but it's not too bad.
Come on, man, keep pushing. V18.
Oh, I've done it again. Couldn't brake in time. Haven't damaged the car anymore. Yeah, and the fact, the other thing is, oh, it's getting, look at that, it's getting a bit misty.
Okay, Paul.
Getting a bit hazy. It is getting quite hazy. I've set it for the current day's weather. And you see the haze. I don't know if you can see that as well on your screens as I can. It's ever so slightly faint mist or haze. I forgot to check what the temperature is. You can see the foliage on the trees here. I expected, you know, with their kind of vegetation, it wouldn't get as brown as ours, but it is over here in the UK. It is in certain places. Oh, the lift off oversteer with the open diff. Need to use it to my advantage. I forgot, and I'm going to do that now, to check what they, look at that. Ambient temperature 7 degrees. So that's today's weather, or that's the weather for this time of year. I wonder what would happen if I came back here and went for live weather. 14 degrees. No wonder I'm having trouble braking. The track's cold as. Right, carry on. By the way, if you're using changing weather, never do that. Never pause to look at the replay, or pause or anything at all. Oh, well, you can pause, but don't pause and look at the replay. It resets. If you've got changing weather going on, it will reset the track state and everything. It's not good. But yeah, that's... You know, without even knowing, I'd failed to check. I was thinking, it is quite... the track feels cold. It feels slippery and cold. Just like the roads have been feeling here. We haven't got ice here yet, but the roads are frosting up, and it's, you know, you go around a corner in your normal car And, you know, if there's no one around,
The leader has just done a 202.2.
nothing coming the other way, you know, hit it a little bit aggressively and then lift off, and you'll feel that, not slide, but you'll feel it sort of shimmying around a bit, and I'm feeling that here.
Was at 206.3, sector 2.
I love it when I can make those real life comparisons, and of course these are on treaded tyres, you know, like my road car. It's absolutely amazing that I can pick that up just, you know, anyone who drives would be able to pick this up. But I will say this, these AI are a bit slow and I'm not really concentrating.
You've got 10 minutes left, 10 minutes to go.
So what did I turn them down to 100 or 90? I think this might be on 100. But yeah. Look at that, that was, oh, I've got wheels caught, but it's quite easy to make an overtake on them there. Oh! Such an absolutely, just such a different. I'm going to have to start speaking a bit more quietly because I'm worried about people going to bed. But such a different experience driving this after driving that great big GT3 car. Oh! Doesn't it look great? Doesn't it just look fantastic, this track? Oh, they're quick through there. Oh, nearly lost it under. I take it back, the AI aren't too slow. They're just driving for this car, and I keep forgetting, under braking you've got to be really... Ah, oh, don't hit the... idiot. Damaged it more? No. Luckily. Come on. Yeah, you have to be so careful under braking because that open diff,
You're locking your left front into
as soon as you lift off, it'll come round on you. I've got to try and catch up with them now. Look at that haze. You can really see it now. It's like a misty fog, which would make sense with that kind of sunlight, but at these temperatures. Do you know what? I'm bloody glad to hear that they're in a good place financially, Marty, because they bloody well deserve it. I really hope they are, you know, profit-wise, reaping the benefits that they deserve, because since I've been in the paddock club, I've got more and more, I'm doing more and more critical stuff, and I'm making more and more critical points on the forums about what's wrong with it.
Looks good.
But I do still sandwich them with everything, the mountain of stuff that's right with it. But on the paddock club, they want feedback. They don't want you to blow smoke up their arse. They're like, if there's a problem, tell us. So any little thing always makes sense, and they're just working on it constantly and constantly, and they listen to you as well. But they work so hard, I hope they're earning a bloody good whack out of this. I hope they can all go home at night in a Porsche. I really do, because what they've done, especially, you know, the amount of backlash they got when people found out they were going to start using this engine. You know, the Madness engine, and so many, you know, this will never work, kind of, and they've gone and done the impossible. You know, do I think it's the best pure driving experience out of all the sims? No, but not by a very big margin. Do I think it's one of the best sims in terms of all round? Yes. Do I think it's got, you know, in terms of realism, it's not, the driving experience is the absolute, it's the centre point, it's the pinnacle, it's the centre point of everything else, but if you've just got a good driving experience, but absolutely every other aspect of the sim is kind of crap, that actually doesn't make it. Driving experience can be fantastic, but it's not a realistic experience. This gives you a realistic experience of what racing is all about. You know, with the weather, with the live track, with the fact that it's got such an amazing heating and lighting and weather system that certain parts of the track, like this part here, is going to have more grip than that bit that's in the shade. It's just, and the fact that cars can bring up dirt, bring it onto the track, things like that, and you know, you could, it's got proper damage that lots of sims don't have. You can lose gears. Oh, there we go. You can if you abuse your gears like I just did there, you can eventually grind a gear down, so you completely lose that gear. I've had that in a car. You can get locked out of certain gears, clutch damage, amazing mechanical failures, and then tyre wear, all of the parts that come off the car as well. It's just, I did it again. I get a little bit confident, and yeah, I've done more damage. I've just done more damage. I haven't even looked yet, but I can feel that. Steering's a bit balked. I was getting too carried away with, you know, how good this is. Yeah, 25% damage to each of the front shocks now. The steering's getting quite loose.
Push now, we can catch this guy.
You say that, Jim. Marty's reading the forums every day, and you see my posts. Yeah, they do, you know. What other forum do you get where you regularly get to speak to, you know, the head honcho of a sim like that? You know, if you notice something that really is there, or if you make a good point, he will respond. Old Renato, you know. And all the guys that work on the forums, the admins as well. You know, there's Crimson, who speaks to us a lot on the forums. There's Steelcast that he'll pop into your stream every now and then, say hello. You know, he's working for them as well. Oh! Hello there, Craig C. How you doing, mate?
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Welcome to the stream. As you can see, Craig, I'm doing incredibly well in last position. Well, 21st, but the 22nd is a safety car, so I'm in last with damaged suspension. Luckily, these cars are quite tough, you know, so even with damaged suspension, they'll still keep running, unlike, you know, the more delicate carbon fibre type Formula 1 cars. That's one thing I do hope to see gets even more honed in. The damage gets honed in more individually for each car. I'd love to see that.
He's leading the race. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Sorry, I was just reading Marty's post about the meatball. I took my eyes off the track and looked up again and thought, I'm not going to make it for that corner. I've done it again. It's all your fault, Marty. So yeah, the meatball. Oh, Marty, don't go and retract the message. I didn't mean it. It's not your fault. It's my fault. I should read the messages when it's an appropriate time, shouldn't I? Mate, don't you worry at all, mate. It's all good. See, the meatball, you get that in iRacing, don't you? The meatball flag.
That's half a gallon of fuel.
I've got to do some iRacing stuff at some point, but it's just... I do enjoy it, and there's some things I just... One thing with iRacing, and it's one problem with this, you've got great damage in this, but the crash physics in this, when the cars crash, they just don't move in believable ways, or they'll, you know, be it, if there is an Indy car on an oval, it'll crash at 200, and then sort of just stop on a wall, just come to a complete halt. Like the bodies, when they get in contact with stuff, have got too much friction, and cars in this don't roll properly either, whereas in R Factor 2 they do, but then again they move really well, but bits don't come off. I must say, iRacing, if they could hone that down so it's like that in terms of crash physics, cars roll properly in that, and deformation of the body, suspension, wheels and stuff like this. In that, I must say, that is one thing that does amaze me about iRacing. But the tyre model, it's just tyre model that needs a lot of work in that sim before they bring in this. They've got to sort out their dry tyre model before they bring in the rain, because they're bringing in rain, and with the tyre model they've got at the moment, it just wouldn't work with rain. There is just this prescribed slide it's got when you go over the limit. It's a lot better than it used to be, a lot better. Like, I've tried the old tyre model, and the old tyre model, no wonder they used to call it ice racing. It was like, you know, if you slid a millimetre, that was it, you were gone. Now it's much better than that, but it still needs work. I've lost the AI field now because I'm a numpty. Craig was driving AC1 and the cars... Hang on. Craig was driving AC1 and the cars bounce off each other weirdly, even when just trying to bump draft. I think it depends on the server, because it's quite good, but I thought it was pretty good from what I experienced. The netcode isn't as good as the R Factor 2 servers. No, that's it's just king. The R Factor 2 netcode is amazing at the moment. Marty's saying, when you got your SimCube and tried R Factor 2, it nearly snapped your wrist off. Had to invert the FFB, touching a curb in the lit lane was dangerous to get sorted. AC CC still has pinball hits. Yeah. All of it in all of the sims is determined on. I'm sorry, I'm going to use up one of my track limits just so I can catch up a bit. There you go, I've got 3 of them. I can get away with that. I'm in last. With my FANATEC, the recommended settings for R Factor 2, because once you've got it dialed in, the force feedback is great. But in every other sim, I have my force feedback. So that's the torque as I'm turning the wheel, turned up to 100, force turned up to 100, but intensity is up to 100 as well. But in R Factor 2 I have to turn the intensity, and this is the recommended settings from FANATEC Race Over. Sorry, it was a bit of a rubbish race. I have to have the force feedback.
There's the checkered flag. That's disappointing.
Intensity turned down to 60, else then the curbs are too strong, especially in certain cars. So it's really quite difficult to get dialed in, but once you do, it's very, very good. Loving that, and yeah, there's just no weirdness with the suspension anymore, you know, on this car. And look, you know, just look, the back suspension animation works now. It's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to have to change to something that's not a H shifter, because this shifter will be making too much noise through the wall. What time are we at, I wonder? And let's just check. Oh, I forgot to check the lap times. Bugger. Let's just check quickly. Yeah, we had them on 100. I wonder what the weather would be like. So that was the current date. But I wonder. I'm just going to go back there just quickly. I'm not necessarily going to do a full race, because I wonder what the real weather forecast. This is another thing that I haven't mucked about with. I wonder what the real weather happening there is at the moment. I've got to know. I've got to know. I've got to know. At 25 Newton meters, I never run it at 100. Ah, well, this is the thing. So you got a 25 Newton meter wheel. I have got an 8 Newton meter wheel, and I have the wheel turned up to 100, but the gain in R factor 2, this is usually around 35.
16.
I think we're anywhere near the full force of this wheel. But as I've said before,
you've not got much time to sort this out.
You don't need the gain turned up, because otherwise it becomes unrealistically tough. The reason I would want more Newton meters of torque in a wheel is simply for the torque, for the speed that the wheel spins back. I'd never use the full 25 Newton meters though. I should, and then adjust in game. Yeah, because the thing is, if you have the gain in the game turned up to 100 and then your wheel turned down to something like 25, you'll get clipping. It's like having two, if you plug in your guitar into your amp and you've got too high a preamp in your guitar, depending on your pickups. And even if you've got a clean amp, it'll start distorting it because the input gain is too high. Whereas if you plug in your guitar and you've got a much higher gain amp, and you're not going to distort the amp, so you're not going to clip the amp. So it's like that with force feedback wheels. The formula is gain in the game, keep that lower than, keep your wheel at as high as it'll go, so the power's always there, but keep the gain in the game lower so it never clips. So right, the wind has changed here. It's heavy cloud, so apparently this is today's weather, and the temperature, is slightly warmer, or was it 15 degrees? I think it's around, it's not quite the same temperature. I'm going to give it one more go around here and see if I can. No, I'm not, because I'll just.
B21. Okay, Paul, be ready.
Yeah, it does look warmer.
For it, green, green, green.
I've got to, sorry, I've got to. And this time, look how different it looks already. There's no mist for a start. I'm going to try and keep up this time, guys, and give you guys an interesting race. So I'm going to shut up, not read the chat for a while, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll try and entertain you with a decent race. By using the power of concentration.
Good start, keep it up.
And remembering that I've got an open diff. No, that's it. Sorry, I'm too embarrassed. I'm giving up with those. Let's move on to something else so I can stop using this shifter and making so much noise. Sorry, this was completely unplanned stream. I'm very unprofessional, and I don't know. Well, my excuse is I don't know. Gaming Muscle's probably not streaming at the moment. Otherwise, you could just go watch him. Girlfriend has long hair, would not let her drive unless tied back. I made sure she knew to respect the wheel forces. Yes, yeah, you wouldn't want to get your hair caught in a... Oh, and do watch out in R Factor 2. If you restart a race, if you're in a race and you have to restart it, if you don't exit the race and restart from the menu, if you restart from the actual in-cockpit screen, occasionally R Factor 2 will just balk the wheel to one side. Watch out for that. Never have your hands in the wheel when it does that. It's a big problem with it. And make sure your girlfriend's hair is nowhere near it, because it will rip it out. Certainly a recipe for a disaster. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't doing too well there. Right, okay. What can I check out? What can I check out? What do I want to check out? Oh, Group C's. No, they're H patterns as well. I need something with flappy paddles because it's quieter. Just for a moment. I have an idea. Ooh. Could try a prototype. What do you think, guys? Prototypes? Yeah, God, yeah, yeah. If you've experienced that, Marty, watch out for that. That really, I've moaned at the devs of R Factor 2 about that. Literally, if you're in the cockpit screen and you pause it and press restart, the wheel just goes, and it's scary, mate. It really is. Always when you restart in R Factor 2, it doesn't happen every time, so you never quite know when it's going to happen. Exit the cockpit screen, go back to the garage, and restart from in there. Never when you're on track. Craig, I would try trucks, but they're unfortunately H pattern as well, so they're going to make a lot of noise. But you're saying prototypes are always good and fun, so we shall give the prototypes a go. What are we thinking? Do we want slow or fast ones? Oh, DPIs. What do you think? DPIs? What do we reckon? I haven't tried this in a while. Let's try. Yeah, you're saying go for it. Excellent. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll stick with that livery. It's yellow, but it's almost a limey yellow. I like that. Okay, and it's got to be Daytona, hasn't it? It's got to be Daytona. Marty's up for it as well. Yeah, let's go Daytona. Daytona road course. In fact, I'll tell you what, we could really test out the AI here. Let's turn up the pit speed limit, because the pit speed limit at Daytona should be a bit higher, shouldn't it? Or actually, I wonder what the preset says about that. Let's have a look. If we can find... I love the fact that we've got these presets now. That can tell us all we need to know. We're not going to use the preset length race. I'm just going to use this to see what it sets the pit speed limit at. DPI, GTE and GT3. Oh, so it does set it at 60. I will keep it at 60 then, if that's what it's saying. Right, fine. But we'll clear the preset, because you don't want to watch me racing for 2 hours and 40 minutes, do you? Let's have a 20-minute race here, and we will go for... think so, yeah. 60 does seem slow, doesn't it? We'll up that. We'll up that. Let's go for real weather again. I'm quite liking this real weather thing. Start rolling. I don't like rolling starts in this, but it might be an opportunity to see if they've fixed them. Formation lap. No, we'll just have rolling. Pit stop refueling. No, I don't want a mandatory pit stop. Right. So we will have multi-class. So we got DPIs, GT3s, GTEs. But how many of... I don't know. Let's just have edit classes. Let's just have 2 classes. Otherwise we might end up with too few of each car. So let's get rid of the GTEs. We'll have GT3s and GTEs. Right. keep it at 100% skill level so we find out how quick they are. I'll go last. We'll up that pit speed limit to 100 kilometers per hour. So, you know, about 50 or 60 miles per hour. And I think that's all we need to do. We're on real weather with today's weather forecast. Let's go. Oh, I'll put a very short qualifying session in just to get used to real weather, real historic weather. Why can't I have it to... Why is it real historic weather? It's not real forecast. Oh, okay. We'll have it clear, just for the qualifier, just to get used to the car. And we'll only have it for 5 minutes. Default progressing, private session. Yes. Okay. So just before we start that up, I'll just check the stream. Oh, hang on a minute. Craig's saying 24 hour of Daytona. Do you know what? I will do that on another night. I'll do a stream where I do 1 hour's race and I'll go through the whole 24-hour cycle in 1 hour. I don't think I can do that in a 20-minute race, but I could in an hour. Would everyone be interested in that? If I just did a 24-hour cycle, you know, in 1 hour. And hello, Kevin. How you doing, mate? Are you enjoying the update as much as we are? Hasn't it made for just one of the best offline experience, or single player experiences? Craig thinks that would be cool. Okay, yeah, we can do that. And as the track's loading, for anyone who's new to this channel, especially if you're not a subscriber, if you're watching and you're enjoying this, and if you watched any of my videos, found them useful, interesting, or you just like laughing at a silly curly twat, making him embarrassing of himself, please hit the subscribe button and give us a like. It costs you nothing, but it will earn this channel more revenue, which means I can spend money on better graphics cards and stuff and make higher resolution videos for you. So it's all good. Let's just... Yeah, it's got to be default setup, isn't it? I'm going to take the traction control off. No, I'll put it at 6 and maybe turn it down, see how it goes. I'm just going to go out on default setup. We've only got 5 minutes to get used to the car, so let's get straight out there. Oh, pit speed limiter. They've changed the where you disengage. They've changed the pit line here. So now you turn your pit speed limiter off there, which is how it should be.
Push, push, push. We've got
That's a really nice little touch.
The brake temperatures are low. We need to get some heat into them.
What are my tyres at? Pre-warmed. I am a silly curly twat. That's what my mate Louise calls me. She cuts my hair. Calls me her curly twat. Curly twat friend. This feels good. This does feel good. So the aero on this, I'm speaking a bit quiet now because I'm aware of the time and night. The aero on this car, the aero on all cars has been updated. More sensitive to stuff like pitch and yaw. I've driven this car here, I was on Met's VR server. Was it earlier this year or last year. I think it was earlier this year, and we did a proper hour and I think it was about an hour or an hour and 20-minute race around here, and I videoed it. It's on my channel if you want to go find it. Full race with replay cameras and everything, you know, online, and the servers.
Just
The server held together.
2 minutes to go.
We didn't have any nasty online bugs, and it was absolutely fantastic. But I can feel already, and I don't know if it's down to the area or the tyres, I think a mixture of the two. This car feels like it's got a big ton of downforce, but it doesn't feel like it's
Has just done a 137.
got chewing gum on the tyres, which kind of makes it springy to the road, and then all of a sudden the back end just goes. This feels good. Let's try driving it how I usually drive though, with the traction control off. Let's see what this will be like. Possibly do with lowering 6th gear. Yes! I deliberately kicked out the back end there just to see what it's like if you overdo it with the traction control turned off. This car's always been good, but it's just a bit too overly glued to the track. This feels much better.
Leader's just done it, 137.06.
Under braking as well. I can rotate it under braking and spit the back end out a little bit, as long as I don't do it too much.
Sector 1 is 0.9.
The back end, just if you did anything like that, you'd have a level of grip. I've gone over the track limits there, but it doesn't matter. You'd have a level of grip that would be there, and then it wouldn't. It just wouldn't. This is much more. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. Just better in every way. Does feel really good. It's going to be interesting to see how the AI are now with the multi-class race. There we go. So let's see. So folks in my class, the DPIs are doing 137s. Look at that. There's only sort of, it's really close. So, I am the slowest in my class. But that's 100%, so that's not too bad. Look, 138.2 is closest to me, so it's only 0.4 of a second. GT3s are doing between 146s and 150s. It's quite a large spread. Okay, so we'll continue.
20 minutes, V17.
We're on real weather, so what is the weather doing in Daytona at the moment? Quite warm. Low wind, medium cloud, dry. 19 degrees. So that's a good 10 or 12 degrees warmer than it is here at the moment. Track's at 28. Marty, have you ever been to Daytona? or anyone American watching, have you ever been at Daytona? Is that accurate to how the weather would be there at this time of year? And just before I start, I'm just going to check my stream window. Craig saying he hasn't played much of this game, played a ton of original AMS. It's come a long way, this one. This last update, you know, physics wise, it's getting really, really good. It is still not R Factor 2. People ask me, you know, to compare it to R Factor 2. I've been asked on one of my videos, how does it compare to R Factor 2? And I said, well, in what way? Because it's hard to say. It really is. In terms of pure driving physics, you know, just that I'm on the track, feeling the track, in the car, through the force feed, R Factor 2. But in so many other ways, this has advantage over that in so many other ways, like, you know, mechanical damage simulation, all that sort of thing. So many other elements that this has that doesn't. Every sim's got its strength. But physics of this now, I've been with it since the get-go, you know, just like I have with R Factor 2, and it's, you know, the physics with this when it started were very gamey. It's now much more a sim. But as you all know, I've always loved it, because I always had faith that Reza could really do something with this, and they have. Craig uses legacy head and zero everything out. I'm not sure if that can help you. I use legacy as well. Is there a setting that stopped the cockpit bouncing around so much? Just so you know, I don't think I can show you my... Can I? Yeah. Just to answer your question there, Craig, the reason my cockpit moves around a lot is, these are obviously my FOVs, but this is the movement. So I use legacy, which kind of locks you to the car, and then turn head movement down to 0, which actually turns, it's inverted when you've got legacy. If you don't use legacy and use 100% or use 100% head movement, then you get 100% head movement. If you do use legacy, 0% head movement then becomes head movement. I still have head movement, but also you'll see my view move around because of the way. There are certain sims I have to turn head movement almost completely off, because it uses just head movements that I don't get on with. It'll pitch and yaw, just do weird things. The reason I've got a lot of movement maybe is because I do use lateral G-force effects, which help when I'm braking front to back. Sorry, left to right. Longitudinal I'll have up quite high. That's for when I'm braking. I like the lateral in this, because unlike some sims where it just sort of almost turns your head like that, in this it does that. So it throws you out, forces your head to move in a little way. I only use a little bit of that. I use it a lot more when I'm in VR, just because of the way a VR works. And G-force effects, up and down, I've got quite high. Because, you know, if you've ever sat in a car and raced a car, it's violent. You move, your view's doing that all the time, you know. So I like to try and emulate that. So there, if that helps you at all anyway, they're my view settings. If you want better view settings, more stable, turn on legacy, turn head, I think it's inverted, either 100 or 0, we'll turn it off. Turn your high speed camera shake off, turn these all down to 0, and you'll get a much more stable view. Where are we up to? Silly curly twat, ha ha ha. Much safer than racing into a pit wall. Right. He's going to try that. Full skin packs. That's for Kevin's events. Is that Kevin? Struggle to focus on not crashing it in the car. Kevin M, I've got your channel, haven't I? I'll double check with you after. I'm pretty sure I'm subbed to your channel. Right. Okay. Let's get back to this. So what I'm going to concentrate on here is the multi-class racing. So I'm going to go overboard and just stick 20 laps. I'm not going to need that, but I forgot what the lap times were. I'm going to keep the default set up, but I'm going to turn off traction control. So I'm starting in. Oh, I won't need a pit stop, will I? Should I put a pit strategy in just in case? Don't think the weather's going to change all that much. So 0 fuel, change tyres. None. It's just if we need to pit for damage, because I don't think I'm going to wear the tyres out. Right, let's do it. Let's do it. Here we go, guys. Like I said, if you are watching, just joined the stream, not used to the, or if new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, give us a like.
Get ready, keep your nose clean. 20
and here
minutes.
We go. So have they sorted out this weird rolling start procedure yet? See, look, we're actually able to overtake, and actually the inside line on a rolling start starts overtaking. Overtaking 2 cars now. They've not sorted this out. Or will they come back into alignment? It's coming back. It's coming back. Will the blue car be where it's supposed to be by the time we start? Yes. Yeah, because I was actually... Yeah, there we go. We're okay. Maybe they have sorted that out, but anyway.
Go, go, go.
Nearly a touch between those two there. Just touched the grass a bit. Felt good over the curbs there. Oh! Rear wheel on the grass. Oh, we got a touch. Got a touch. I did turn in on him a bit there. We're okay though. Okay. I'll keep all the widget and hub stuff up there so you can see what's going on, guys. So they've changed the overtaking behaviour. They'll slipstream, get right up behind another car and then gradually pull out, rather than that, get right up behind them and then pull out, but after they've braked, which kind of negated the slipstream in the first place. That's much better with the AI. Now, just saw the animation of the flames coming out of the 2 exhausts from the rear top of the body there. Oh, I've changed it a bit too early. And the blue car is having a look down the inside. Oh, just touched the wall because I wasn't looking at where I was going. I haven't done any damage though. So immediately he's taken advantage of my... Can I outbrake him? Oh, I thought he'd given up a bit there, but he's actually not as far behind me as I thought it would be. The cars always look so much further behind you in the mirrors. And oh, I've slightly swapped paint with him, no damage done, but I did dive down the inside of him, so that was a bit of a dive. Got to remember, I've just gone from a Formula V to this. Things are much faster. Start adapting, Paul. car on the inside there. Oh! I squeezed him a bit too much. Squeezed him over the line, he's slowed down. But the blue car, look at the blue car, he's taking advantage, overtaking the yellow car that was next to me, and he's now hot on my tail.
The leader's just done a 137.70.
Do you mean the camera movement looks immersive to watch when it's sort of all bouncy, but it's difficult to drive with? They're definitely on a different setup to me because they're achieving a different top speed at a different time as we get to the end of that oval. Sorry if I don't answer everything in the text because I've only got a small, in the chat, I've only got a small window, so as it scrolls up I'm going to miss half the comments. These things are rapid, yes they are, for sure. This is definitely the fastest thing I've driven tonight. So far, handling wise, I'm very impressed with this car. Tyres just feel so much more believable. Marty likes the DPI.
Gap to Franconia ahead.
Sneaky.
It's now 1.5.
Undertake from the AI, yes it was. Yes, the camera. Oh, I'm glad you like the way it looks. I love driving with it like this. Oh, the way the back end got slippery there. You could feel, rather than the tyres just being weird and there being grip and then no grip, and you couldn't get it back, you could feel the tyres start to slide, but then when you got it back in line, you'd feel the aero kick in and drag the car. Once the aero was at an angle that it was working properly at, you could feel it then regain control. It's really good. It's going to be tight. I shouldn't have changed down at first there. That was dangerous. Yeah, I can see why people get confused and don't like AMS2's camera settings because they get confused because they don't realise that certain things invert other things. Once you realise how it all works, you can set up AMS2's camera settings to suit pretty much anyone, do exactly whatever you want. And I love the fact that it's got these G-force effects as well that not many other, well, none that I can think of. ACC's camera settings are so limited and the movement's just rubbish. This has got the best camera settings out of any sim I've ever tried because there's something for everyone, and it's got those G-force settings and I love that because look when I brake, you know, my head goes full. Oh, sorry, I was concentrating on trying to get the look of what happens when I brake right rather than my actual driving. And the blue cars, I'm going to block the blue car because he's... No, look at that! I literally actively tried to block him. He slipstreamed me and then changed his path, and now he's overtaking me on the outside. How good is that? That was amazing. But I'm gonna block the inside. Oh, but he's slowed right down. He's gonna go for the undertake. I thought he was going to do a switchback on me there. Does seem a little bit too easy to fend them off on that corner. I will say that. I've gone wide, don't do that. Yeah, you can't really beat R Factor 2's road feel. It is very good. But then again, just... Oh, look that! A little bit too much throttle, the back end started to go, but I was able to regain it. Before, that would have just got to a certain angle and then just spun completely round. You know, ages ago before this update and the last major one. But yeah,
Defend hard, make them work
it's
for it.
only this sim and R Factor 2 actually, I'd say, where you can really feel. I mean, you can feel it in ACC as well, but oh shit! Ah, really nearly lost
Just
it
got
there.
track limits.
You can really feel the grip around the track, and the variability that you get in this and R Factor 2 from, you know, 1 square metre of tarmac to another square metre of tarmac, where the grip is, where it isn't. It's just phenomenal. It really is.
That lap time was 1:39.52.
Because actually I'd say in terms of real dynamic track and real dynamic weather, R Factor 2 and AMS2, I've got to say they really take the prize. Because even ACC doesn't actually have, it's got a dynamic track but it's not fully dynamic. So the rub it in line, for instance, doesn't rubber ring where the cars drive, it's preset. You know, and it will rubber in more or and less, but it's preset where the rubber goes down. What am I missing in the chat? Something about AMS2 on Mondays. I have to wait till I get to a straight. I am missing certain comments, do apologise. Accessibility settings are important in Sims. Not everyone can have VR or large. Yes, exactly. And this has got something for everyone. Craig C, hate how iRacing only has cockpit view. Oh, that's a tough one for me. You see, no. Any sim I've got, I only drive in cockpit view. I can. Yeah, that's a difficult one for me. I'm staunchly cockpit view only. But I can see how it is difficult for people on, you know, smaller, narrower screens. But I just used to change my FOV to compensate for that, and I'm being drafted by the yellow car behind me.
You're running last.
But actually, I'll tell you why I can really understand why iRacing does that, because you can force cockpit view, and I think they do this on the R Factor 2 servers. In R Factor 2 you can have the choice of having a cockpit view or bumper view or whatever you like. But I think in their race control servers you can they force cockpit view only. And I think that's so it's a bit more fair, so everyone's on the same page. So if a car's got, say, a car like this, LMP cars have got, and prototype cars have got notoriously bad vision, even in real life, because they've got these huge pillars. So if you've got the nose view, then that puts you at advantage. But then again, you could play devil's advocate with that.
Defensive, mate.
Because you could say, well, if someone's got a triple screen setup, then they can see all of this, you know. So they've still got, even though the car's got low on visibility, they're still not on the same page, because the person racing them might be on a tiny little screen. So yeah, I guess you could argue both points. Marty's a few times tested VR and AMS2. Wrecked due to looking around the car interior. Yeah, it's just because AMS2 is so fucking pretty. That yellow car is just the way the AI have set up their cars, or whatever setups they're running, definitely achieving better speed than me at the end of that straight. I'm going for a bit of a dive. It's a bit risky. Oh, I've made it. Oh, but he's not giving up. Still there. He is not making it easy. Bit of dirt being brought onto the track. Look at that, look at that. There he is. Oh my God. He went for a switchback. He went for a switchback on me. I foiled it because I was a bit all over the place. So I think he thought better of it, but getting a bit slippery at that corner there. I would only drive in Craig says I would only drive in cockpit view 2, but I'm lucky enough to have a decent sized screen. Yeah, I suppose it is a good option, you know, for people with the small screen. But like I said, I always used to, but I had a tiny screen, I just used to change the FOV. No, it's still in cockpit view. I just love it like that, you know. Yes, that's right, Marty. They are abusing me. Tell them off.
V15, your last lap time was at 1:39.36.
Uh-oh. Thought I was going to go wide. I have gone wide. Feel that coming. And the blue car has immediately tried to take it. Oh, look at that. He's all over me. This blue car has given me some really good competition. Craig C, third person view is a bit unfair. Oh, crikey. Hang on, I have to take my eye. I'll have to come back to reading that. I can just feel the grip changing on the surface. There is, and I can hear. Have you noticed that now you can hear as well as see it? You can hear the dirt where it is on the track as well. You get that sound of bits, clumps of dirt and stuff, and the dirt particles just hitting up underneath the car. And I can hear there's more on the track as well as see it now. It's getting a bit slippery. I'll come back to reading the comments in a second. Right, let's try and get the bus stop right. Lot of dirt being put up in the bus stop, and half of that's probably me. Third person view is a bit unfair, but anything attached to the car should be fair play for competitions. Bonnet view, okay, maybe. But yeah, third person, that's just no. That gives you a totally well, one, I couldn't drive like that, it's just wrong.
5 minutes to go.
Two, you could, if you learned how to drive that, because the human brain can adapt to so much, can't it?
Off the pace.
It gives you the advantage that you can see cars around the car, even if you had a full triple screen, 5 screens set up even, and you can see all around your peripheries. You'd never be able to, you still wouldn't be able to see cars that are in your blind spot. And third person does give you that. Oh, we're coming up on the slower cars now, and look at how the faster cars are just following me through and going around the outside of the slower cars. Right, sorry, I just want to concentrate on what's going on track now. We came up on the slower cars, and I was reading the comments. That could have been a huge accident. Look at that blue car behind. Just the way they're getting around the slower cars. Oh, this is fantastic. This is what I was waiting for in this race.
You've used half your fuel.
I totally should have done a setup. I seem to be a bit faster around the corners than the AI cars. They are definitely faster on the straights. Or rather around the sweeping oval corners here. Look, you move across the track and they move to slipstream it. It's just fantastic. So this, look at that car in front getting around the GT3. That I've gone bloody wide. I locked up. Oh!
Push. We can catch this car coming up on a slower class car. Don't panic. We'll get him back.
Oh! I can feel my tyre. I can feel that ever slightly on the tyre. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to follow him through. That was so well done. No hanging around there to get past the slower car. Whoa. He's going straight from the outside, but he is being blocked by the slower car. But he's immediately found a way through. Look at that. That's kind of what I would have done slower car, moved to the outside to make the widest arc round the corner, take the apex. He kept to the outside and then just took it as soon as he turned in. Brilliant.
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. Coming up on a slower car.
This is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Multi-class racing against the blooming AI. Look at that. Oh, he's having a bit of a problem there. But then so am I. I've had to brake. He had to brake for him. I've had to brake for him because he just moved.
16.
But look, the AI almost got past better than I did. He's not giving up the inside. That's fantastic. Just look at it.
Come on, Paul. Nicely done.
I'm so impressed. This is the first multi-class race I have had since the very last AI updates, and I've got to say, I am massively impressed. I really am massively impressed. Oh, okay. We're both struggling to get past this one. There's two of us trying to get past one GT3 car. I'm actually following the AI through. So use a slipstream off the back of this one to catch up with this one. There we go. Slingshot us into the slipstream with it. Oh, he's braking early. He's got a slower car in front of him. There's no way past at the moment. He'll make his move about now, but I'm gonna. Oh, I was gonna try and sandwich him in, but I couldn't. He's found his way past already.
Slower class car ahead.
Can I block down the inside? That's gonna put him in my slipstream though. But then I'm gonna. Oh, it's tight. He's gone through on the inside though. Look at that. Look at that.
So ahead is increasing. It's now 1.2. V14. One more lap to go.
Honestly, I am so impressed with the AI in this sim. And at one point, just to point out for all I've said about the multiplayer, which at the moment is a bit atrocious. I'm going to say that it is really, out of all the sims at the moment, I know ACC hasn't, that's got LFM's help, or rather AC. It hasn't got its own in-game system, but LFM has sorted that out. LFM couldn't even use this. They couldn't even use this because the multiplayer just isn't. It's a bit atrocious, and it's got worse. But the AI for this sim, at one point, were horrendous. They were absolutely atrocious. Really bad. And if this is the job, if this is the standard Breezy can get them to, I reckon, because they're going to start concentrating on the multiplayer next year, I reckon when they set their sights on the multiplayer, they're going to do what they've done with pretty much every other aspect of this sim, and surprise the absolute feck out of all of us. I do reckon that. Oh, we are close. Oh, this is so close.
V14, that's the end of the race. Bad luck, mate.
Ah, that's the end of the race. I didn't even realise where we were, how far we were through the race, because that was just amazing. That was amazing fun. I was so engrossed. Just going to have a little exercise in tyre wear here. That's enough of that. It's far too noisy, isn't it? Wow. Absolutely amazing. Let's have a look at how we did. So out of the DPI class, what's fastest? 37.2 looks like the fastest lap time. No, yeah, 37.2 is. And I was a 37.82, so not the slowest, because there was 37.85, 84. I was certainly in the slower echelons of the DPIs. Made a few places. It's quite close there for a while between the GTs. That was just, guys, absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to let the replay play in the background for a moment. Oh, it's done that. This has done that bug thing that it does earlier, where you, if you ever get this, it starts playing the replay, but there are no AI there. They'll suddenly all appear, and if you want to watch it from the start with the AI, watch, they'll appear in a second. Trust me on this. It's taken a while. Let's wind it on. There we go, there they are. If that ever happens, just let it play until the AI appear, then wind it back to the beginning, hit play, and then they'll all be there. So there we go. I'll let that play whilst I have comments here. Blue car certainly, yeah, Craig, blue car certainly did want my position. It was really giving me a good battle. Really want to race now, but it's 2 AM. We're up in 4 hours. Are you in the UK, Craig? Well, it's 8 minutes past 2 here. I may have to make this the last bit, actually, because I did say to my folks, you know, I won't go past 2. They seem quite happy then. Happens, what happens? It's been an exciting race to watch. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Craig. And you are in the UK. If you're ever in Norfolk, on a Sunday, you can find a little village called Wimbledon. If you play an instrument, come and join us on my jam. In the local pub, 4-hour live music jam. Everyone who plays gets a free drink, their choice, by the way. All year round. Thank you, Marty. Cheers. Cheers to you too. What I might do, because you know, I talk quite quietly now, but I do tend to shout when I'm racing. I might just watch a bit of this with you guys before I shut the screen, just to look at the fine details, like the brake discs, you know, lighting up there, but not too much either. That subtle glow from the discs. Look how close we were there. We didn't touch, but we were that close. Fantastic. Craig's in the north of Scotland. Well, if you ever are, mate, I've got to ask, seeing as you're in Scotland, have you ever been to Knock Hill track? My mate Stuart wants us to go up there and watch touring cars, because Knock Hill's his favourite track, and I must admit, when the touring cars are there, it really is spectacular. You have. I love the fact that you know the grid straight's slightly on the piss, but those curbs there, you know, the cars get up like that. I don't know, Craig, if you've seen my video that I did of where I tested the updated BMW M2 for R-Factor 2. And it just shows how good R-Factor 2's physics are, but literally got it up to an angle like that, over one of those curves. We were there for the BTCC 2 years ago. Oh, that must have been amazing. That must have been fantastic. I went and watched the British touring cars at our local track is Snettersham, or Snetterton rather, sorry. And we've got a place called, it's confusing here, we've got a place called Snettersham and Snetterton. Snetterton's a racetrack, obviously. I went and watched the touring cars, and I paid 25 quid, this was years ago, 25 quid, and it was the best, so that was for the whole day. And I didn't realise I would get to watch not only the touring cars, I got to watch the touring cars, Clio Cup, F3s, Porsche Cup as well, and this was one of the best races in the world. The historic GT and touring car boys were there, you know, with the proper old school historic cars with brilliant suspension. So, you know, Mini Coopers fighting against huge, great big Mustangs, you know, and you'd think those boys would race a lot cleaner because they'd be taking care of those old cars. They were, well, the only thing that got more messy than that was the youngsters in the Clio Cup. Look at this replay, it's just fun. Look at the AI, look at the way the cars are moving. Look at how close the AI is to me. And look how he pulls out to go for the overtaking move. The way they slipstream and the way they pull out for an overtake, just come on leaps and bounds. Look at that. Look at that. He's stayed in the slipstream till it's the right moment to pull out, and he's done it. And look, he's got the draft. He's gone past. And now I'm getting the draft back from him. Fantastic. You've been to Donington Park too. Another one of my subscribers. He lives. He says he can see Donington Park from his house, from the bedroom. Donington Park's a great track. Great track. I love racing there. In this and our factory, in anything really. But yeah, the touring cars in our factory too at Donington Park. But this was just, I can't wait to try this in VR. This car just feels, it just before it felt like it had this rubbery kind of grip, where it was almost like the tyres would stretch away from the road. They'd stick to the road, the car would stick to the road, and the tyres would stretch. And at some point it'd slap like an elastic band, and the back end would just go ka-choom. And you could never really tell when it was happening. Now, you can feel it snappy because of the ton of aero grip, and when you know, get out of the right angle or pitching your bit too much, you lose that aero grip. You can hear it go, feel it going, it goes fast. But the tyres don't act like chewing gum on an elastic band that suddenly snaps anymore. You know, if it doesn't go too much, you can get it back. It's phenomenal what they've done, it really is. Look at that! I moved right down the A, I only moved straight past without losing speed to get past me. It's just fantastic. What did you see at Donington Park, mate? Was that touring cars as well? Sorry, I know I'm just now sitting here watching a replay with you guys, but as long as you guys don't mind, you know, this is just, I don't think we, you know, when we I think when sim racers stream the videos, you know, we see a lot of cockpit view and cockpit view only. It is nice sometimes to just check out the replays, because replays are actually one of the parts I really, really love about sim racing. The fact that you can go and watch the replay, you can watch your race, but also the way the car moves. Look at that! Wasn't that such a believable slide there? Extremely realistic looking slide there. You can only see that from the replay. It's just incredible. Oh, and another nice thing is, another little detail I'll mention now, sorely overlooked, unless you look at the replays, is that the player car, you know how dirt will build up on the cars? It was BTC again that you saw, I thought it might be. That's where we're all dragging dust onto the track. Look, you can see it there. You can see the dust getting dragged onto the track in exactly the place that I am and other cars might have been dragging it onto, but I certainly was. But the player car, you get dirt build up on the cars, and the player car would just get this excessive amount of dirt build up on it. So by the end of the race, all the AI car looked brand new, and your car looked like it had just been through, I don't know, driving behind a tar lorry. But now, look. They're much more consistent with each other. I can see a little bit of built dirt now building up around the... Oh, let's look if we can... No, it's not like... Oh, by the way, did you know you can do this? You can now actually change the camera by pressing D. At least D is what mine is coded to. But you can actually... You've got different trackside replay cameras at different distances from the car, and there are static cameras that you can just stay in one place, but they will track the car all the way around. Look at this. Have you seen this kind of view before? You can see the moving water there. It's fantastic. Look at that. It's like watching. It's like standing in a tower in the middle of the track and watching. So this is obviously from the stands here. So it's going to sort of stay in the stands, but the camera's going to zoom in and out to my car. Look at that. Look at that. So hit it again, see what else we get. There's another static camera. There's another static camera. So it's in one place, but it will zoom in and zoom out. Static cameras, guys. Isn't that fantastic? Trackside, static ones, several different ones. And then you've got this. So this is where we're going to be able to see the dirt build up. You just said you couldn't see the dirt build up. There you go, can you see those little spots? It's gradually getting those little spots there on the side, the dirt build up there. Gradually getting it. Hopefully you can see that on the stream. Too much on the actual front. Oh, there's a few on the front of the car. There you go. But mainly you can see it on the white fairing here. There you go. Yeah, rubber off the track, that's it. So, if I come back to the trackside view, and if we, let's get our standings up. Let's have the car just behind me. So the yellow car just behind me there. So I'm in front. Let's have a look at the yellow car. Hang on, get rid of the standings. And let's zoom in on that yellow car. So the thing is, has he... Yeah, there's the odd spot of dirt on his car as well, look. See it brilliantly from this camera angle. Yeah, a few spots on the back there. Let's go another one. Yeah, on the front there he's got a few spots, like I've got a few spots on the side fairings. So it's the little details like that which are now consistent to each other. Brilliant, absolutely superb. Let's go back to my car. Ooh! Little slide, got to see that, got to see that. Do tell me if I'm overindulging, guys, with this, but that was pretty cool. Look at that, slow it down. Look at that, look at that movement. You can see the flex, that's just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I could do this all night, guys, I really could. Well, folks, I think, because it is now gone 20 past 2 in the morning. Let's come back to the main menu. Yeah, if that was iRacing, that would be... do you know what? I think if iRacing sorted out that tyre model in a way... Because actually the feel of grip up until that point is really, really quite good. And there are certain things, even though it's got quite basic force feedback, there are certain things I really, really like about the feeling of iRacing. I'm sure if they really sorted out that... what happens when you get over the limit, the way the grip falls off and never comes back, and if you've ever lost, like if you've ever been in your road car and lost the back end at 70, going around a wet road, a road car in the cold, in the wet, on crappy road tyres, you'll know that even on those you can have the back end step right back out, but if you counter steer and get it to a point where the grip can come back, it comes back pretty quick. I know this has happened to me. There is a point where it comes back. In iRacing, it's just sort of, oh, it's gone, and it's gone. But if they could get that right, because their tyre physics is pretty damn complex. If they could get that right, if they can sort that out, it would be so good. Right, so I'm going to say goodnight to the 3 of you who are still watching. I should imagine that's probably Craig, because I'm talking to you now, Marty, and possibly Kevin M. I've just got to check. I've just got to check your channel, Kevin, before I go. Hang on. I'm sure. Bear with me just a moment. Oh, Kevin, you've been doing some race room stuff. I'm going to have to check that out, mate, because I haven't installed Race Room. I installed it I had it installed for a while. I used to use just the free bits, and then I had it, when they did that whole weekend or week or whatever it was, if you could try anything in Race Room for free. I really was quite impressed by a couple of little features in that, and the driving feel. I'm going to have to watch your Race Room video, mate. Just go through your videos. How far down is it? Yeah, Kevin, come in the Discord and just remind me of... Oh, you've got the race room with the old school cars as well. It has got a nice roster of some of the old sort of 1960s, 70s cars. I've got to check that out. Please remind me in my Discord to do that, mate. But yeah, guys, thanks ever so much for tonight. Marty, thanks very much indeed for the donation. I will that will either go towards another bottle of Jam Shed Malbec. The white's quite nice as well, Chardonnay, really buttery, but I'm just feeling red at the moment because it's cold. Or it'll go towards when I can finally amass enough bits for the PC. But thank you ever so much, guys. I'm getting a bit quieter because it's time to go to bed. I have a glass of wine before I go to bed. That'll be nice. But yeah, thanks everyone, and I will see you for more videos in between music practice during the week. Weekends, Sundays are always out for me, as you know, because I've got to do my gig. But thanks all, and hang on, I've lost where I am. God, I'm so unprofessional. Yes, right, anyway. Good night. Thank you very much, guys. Sleep tight.